Is Canada actually on the verge of building a major national project? That is a question that many Canadians are asking at this hour as Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Danielle Smith are supposedly in the final stages of negotiating a memorandum of understanding that could see a major national project built, which would be a new oil pipeline from Alberta to the northwest coast of BC to export Alberta's bitumen oil to Asian markets. Now, if this actually happens, this would be a major national project, and it would mean that Prime Minister Mark Carney is finally greenlighting something that should have been greenlighted long ago. Now, Prime Minister Mark Carney has released two lists of major national projects so far, but they have been largely underwhelming. Many of those projects are already in progress, and many other projects were not so major national project in scope. But this would actually be a very big deal. Now, BC Premier David Eby, he is not a happy man these days. He has tried to stand in the way of a new oil pipeline at every turn, and it appears, if media reports are to be believed, that he might finally be put in his place. Now, how is Prime Minister Mark Carney going to get around the fact that he previously said he was willing to give a veto to the BC government over any new pipeline that would be built and go through British Columbia? Well, first, he should look to Canada's Constitution, which says the federal government and not the provinces have the right to approve a project when it crosses provincial boundaries. But he should also look at the polls and point to the fact that an Angus Reid poll, for example, shows that 56% of British Columbians want to see a new oil pipeline built from Alberta to BC's northwest coast for the oil to be taken by tankers to Asian markets. If a majority of British Columbians want it and a majority of Canadians want it, this is something the federal government should get behind. Now, Prime Minister Mark Carney is also going to face a lot of pressure from the Liberal Environmentalist Caucus, and there are some who are behind the scenes probably trying to prevent Mark Carney from signing this deal. So we need to put the pressure on Prime Minister Mark Carney to get this done. If he is even thinking about signing off on this deal and finally delivering a victory for Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, Canadians need to be pressuring Prime Minister Mark Carney to get this done and cheering Premier Danielle Smith on. Because it is time for us to finally do big things in this country once again on the energy file, and that means building a new bitumen pipeline from Alberta to BC's northwest coast so that we can finally sell our products to Asian markets and make sure that it is not all going through the United States, having to be sold at a discount rate, and for the Americans to be making a profits on Canadian oil. It's time for Canadians to see the full profits of that, and that means a new pipeline to BC's northwest coast.